Hey, basketball fans! Ever wonder what happens when a supernova collides with a black hole? Well, we just witnessed it. I'm talking about the explosion that is Caitlin Clark entering the WNBA. You might think you know Caitlin, the scoring records, the media frenzy, the endorsements. But I'm here to tell you there's so much more beneath the surface. This isn't just about individual brilliance, it's about a legacy, about shattering expectations and redefining what it means to be a basketball icon in the modern era. And if you think she is the next LeBron, think again. She will surpass him and will create a new benchmark for new players to achieve. Forget the highlight reels for a second. What does it really mean for the WNBA, for women's sports, and for the future of basketball when a player like Caitlin Clark steps onto the court? What is in store for this legacy? Get ready to find out. This all starts with that interview. Fresh off the NCAA Finals, Caitlin hopped on a Zoom call with WNBA legends Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Now, this wasn't your typical fluff piece. This was raw, unfiltered, and revealed more about Caitlin, her mindset, and the dynamics of the WNBA than we've seen anywhere else. It wasn't just a conversation, it was a passing of the torch, a clash of generations, and a glimpse into the future of the game. It was about her transition to the WNBA, locker room rumors, and those gritty college matchups, all delivered with Caitlin's signature humor and that killer confidence. But before we dive into the juicy details, it's crucial to understand the context. We're talking about a player who not only broke records, but single-handedly elevated the profile of women's college basketball. And now, she's entering a league hungry for that same kind of impact. So what exactly did Caitlin reveal, and why is the basketball world buzzing? Let's break it down. Remember Diana Taurasi's infamous reality is coming warning? A year ago, she cautioned Caitlin that the WNBA is a different beast, full of grown women who've been playing professionally for years. It was a dose of tough love, suggesting college dominance doesn't automatically translate to WNBA success. Fast forward to this interview, and Caitlin's response was pure gold. A subtle smirk, a confident nod, and then, "Congrats on your retirement. Unfortunately, reality is coming to me now." Boom, that's not just sass, it's a statement. It's Caitlin acknowledging the challenge while simultaneously asserting her confidence. It's a generational shift happening in real time. It's a superstar saying, "I'm here and I'm ready." What many may not know is that Diana's statement was not about Caitlin. It's a general perception about new players entering into the game. Diana has seen it all, so she speaks from experience. What is more compelling here is how Caitlin owned that statement, and she understood it perfectly, and that's what makes her special. Diana didn't just eat her words, she served them up with a side of respect. Reflecting on their first game in Phoenix, she described the atmosphere if it were the last basketball game ever played. The crowd was electric, the hype was real, and it felt like witnessing a torch being passed. For Diana, sharing the court with Caitlin was more than just another matchup. It was a generational moment, surreal to finally face the player she'd been watching dominate college hoops for years. This quote reveals a deeper truth about the WNBA. It's a league built on respect, on sisterhood, and on a shared love of the game. Diana recognizes Caitlin's talent and understands the impact she's having on the sport. It's not about rivalry, it's about lifting each other up. Caitlin's response was equally classy, but with that signature edge. She remembered that Phoenix game, noting that her team was down by double digits before staging a comeback victory. "We were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was like our first win versus a team that was above .500. So thank you, I appreciate that." That comeback wasn't just a stat, it was a defining moment. Facing a legend like Taurasi and coming out on top builds confidence and proves that Caitlin isn't afraid of the big stage. Before moving on, let's pause and appreciate the magnitude of the moment. We're talking about Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. These are not just players. They are pillars of the WNBA, multiple Olympic gold medalists, and WNBA champions. The Taurasi duo represents the pinnacle of success in women's basketball. Think Jordan and Pippen, Kobe and Shaq. That's the level of impact we are talking about. Their era was defined by skill, competitiveness, and an unwavering commitment to the sport. Caitlin and Diana may be on different ends of their careers, but the impact they're both making is timeless. As they joked and smiled, it was clear this was more than just banter. It was basketball's past and future sitting in perfect harmony. Obviously, on paper, we have a really good team. We added a lot more experience. Having that leadership in the locker room is going to be really good for us. Caitlin understands that talent alone isn't enough. You need experience, leadership, and chemistry to win in the WNBA. The Fever have made some smart acquisitions, but building a cohesive unit in a short amount of time will be a major challenge. Let's rewind back to the early 2000s. The Seattle Storm drafted Sue Bird #1 overall in 2002. The hype and expectations were immense. However, building a championship team takes time. In Bird's first few seasons, the Storm struggled to find consistency. There were growing pains, learning curves, and challenges in building a winning culture. It wasn't an overnight success story. Bird had to learn how to lead a professional team, and the organization had to figure out how to surround her with the right pieces. But the Storm stayed patient, made smart moves, and eventually, in 2004, they won their first WNBA championship. The lesson here is that even with a generational talent like Sue Bird, success requires time, patience, and a commitment to building a team the right way. Then came the viral photo, those unusually jacked arms. Caitlin laughed it off, but admitted she's been putting in serious work in the weight room. A lot of time in the weight room. I think the biggest thing on the court is just like that mid-range area. Just getting more comfortable, like when I get my feet kind of into the paint. This is where Caitlin separates herself. She's not just relying on her natural talent. She's actively working to improve her weaknesses and expand her game. Adding a floater and becoming more comfortable in the mid-range will make her even more difficult to guard in the WNBA. That level of self-awareness is rare, especially for someone so early in her pro career. Caitlin's already acting like a vet, embracing the grind and the leadership challenges that come with a star-packed roster. She knows expectations are high, and she's meeting them head-on. This is a crucial moment. Caitlin is defending her teammates and setting the record straight. It shows her loyalty and her understanding of the importance of team chemistry. It is important to be mindful when presenting a narrative because a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out. Click the video on the screen. See you.